Hi, everyone. Welcome to week 12. This week, we're going to have two main assignments. We're going to have make, share, and take surveys, which is for the discussion board. And then we're going to have a project on Friday, interview questions. And so I just want to really briefly go over both of these. Just a reminder, both of these are just part of our research project part 1 worksheet. And so if you look on here, last week we did long form news source and a peer-reviewed article in a scholarly journal. We're going to skip over social media and do interview and survey this week. Okay. All right. So we're going to make a survey. If any of you have not made a survey before on Google Forms, it's actually kind of remarkably easy. And I know some of you have already posted to this. But if you haven't yet, I just want to go over this. What I want you to do is I want you to make a survey, ideally connected to your topic. It doesn't have to be something that's exactly based on your topic. And in part, that's because what a survey is going to give us is people's awareness and opinions on a certain subject, usually. A lot of the time when we're doing a survey, we're not really getting knowledge from people. Like the people who are surveying don't typically have like any kind of expert knowledge that could contribute to the type of research that we're doing. Instead, we're learning a little bit about what they do know about a topic. We're like, oh, okay, so like, how much do you know about this? Or like, do you have an opinion about this? What is it? Those are typically what we're going to learn about in a survey. So for example, if you're researching something like social media and mental health, the people that you're surveying might not know anything about connections between social media and mental health more than maybe like an extremely like anecdotal, their own personal experience, right? But that's the kind of stuff that you could get information about. Do you think, or do you use social media? What kinds of social media do you use? Okay. Have you ever noticed, social media having an effect on your mental health? And so those are the kinds of questions that you can, ask people to find out, are there any trends that I'm noticing here? Is it certain people who seem to have, more effects on their mental health, and it's because they're using Instagram versus like some other type of social media? Basically, the research that we do with surveys is going to help us find patterns, okay? Because we're going to be using a pretty small sample size in this class, this is really going to be more for practice than anything, but ideally this would be something that you would be able to include in your project. And I've had students in the past post their surveys on social media and actually get a lot of responses that gave them a lot of data. Okay. I'll go ahead and make another video just going over how to make a survey here. The other assignment that we have for this week is interview questions. If it will pop up. Here we go. Okay, so for interview questions, what you're going to do is you're going to make 5 questions. And then these questions should go a little bit deeper probably than the survey. So what we can do with an interview is we can get where a survey is going to tell us like what a group of people think or feel about something. An interview is going to be where we ask one person to share with us their knowledge about something. Okay. And so ideally with interviews, we go to someone who might be considered an expert. It doesn't have to be, and especially we have a pretty short timeline here. And so what you might be doing is you might be asking yourself, okay, maybe I have to interview like my mom or like, my friend or something, or someone else in class. But then knowing that that's the case, maybe the opportunity I'll get here is to ask follow-up questions, or maybe the opportunity I'll get here, like let's say you ask someone, okay, so like, what is your favorite color? And they say blue. Then you could say, oh, well, like light blue or dark blue. And that's just like a very simple example, but that's one of the benefits of an interview, right? Is that sometimes whenever there's, more questions that come up based on their answers, you can ask those questions. Another thing that's nice about interviews is that there's a lot more room for difference in answers. So you're not giving them multiple choice. They're able to answer in a way that feels real to them. And then sometimes that can lead to directions you didn't even anticipate. Okay. All right. So write 5 interview questions. Here's some tips if you need help with that. Set up your interview. I really recommend email if possible. And then cite your interview in MLA. And then this is how you would cite it. You'll also be doing this for the survey. And so there isn't like a real way to cite surveys in MLA. It's a little bit made up. But I'm making this up based on based on how you would cite an interview, which is a real thing to cite an MLA. For the survey, you're going to go ahead and cite your name, your last name, comma, first name, the title of your survey, and then the date. Okay. And that's all you need to do, just really simple, but just something so that you can get some credit for following directions on citing that source. All right, I'm going to go ahead and make another video just specifically on how to make a survey. And then hopefully that'll help. We're getting through this project slowly but surely. I hope everybody's doing okay. I've gotten some questions, but not too many. So I'm hoping that means that everybody is doing great, moving right along. Please, though, don't hesitate to let me know if you have any questions. All right, have a good week.